What's going on, Ambitious Vet? Thanks for diving into the trenches again with me for another week of the Ambitious Vet podcast. If you're a first-time listener, just thanks for being here. Just know that this is your new home. To gaining the golden grenades is what we call critical insights to you just breaking through to new levels of success, fulfillment, and impact after you've realized the immediate transitional tools like resume writing, interview prep, and job fairs. They expire. They have a shelf life to your goals and aspirations. And if you haven't already found that out, you're going to find that out. And our whole end goal at the end of this episode is you get one aha moment to keep yourself unstuck and in action in the trenches of your just everyday life. So if we've done that, that's definitely a win for us. So what are you going to learn in this episode? Well, you're going to learn how to take advantage of the 22 VBOCs in the nation that are right now in existence, that are powered by Small Business Administration. Really what they are, why they're important, and how to simplify it. Simplify the process and how to leverage their amazing resources, their tools, their events, their programs to really not only start your business, but really get it off to the kickstart and jumpstart that you really want it to be. Stay tuned.
I try to take people outside of a box. You know, when you're leaving the military, when you're graduating school, you learn your MOS, you're like, all right, I'm going to pigeonhole myself into this. But really, that's not the way to live. Kind of erase those edges and take that box and take a side down and step out and breathe. You know, learning about what we have to do and how we have to do it doesn't have to be difficult. You know, you're in this mindset of, oh, I have to do it now. Just like my husband, I have to do it. There's no other way around it. It's got to get done. Well, no, it doesn't have to get done right today. Yes, it has to get done, but let's breathe and let's focus on the end goal.
One of the many things I get asked right now is what is the number one weapon of choice that I would credit to making the Forbes Next 1000 class of 2021? Well, I can tell you this, it's definitely not my brain. I definitely don't trust that, but I do trust leveraging this tool called the Full Focus Planner made by Michael Hyatt and Company. And if you're listening to this, you know, it really has made a difference in just me being able to achieve more by doing less. What do I mean by that? Actually gaining the clarity and focus to really move the needle forward, to have me feel like I'm being successful in all areas of life, not necessarily business, because sometimes family life, personal life, goals can be more important than being successful in business and balancing that, the life-work balance thing, right? But also when you do have time to apply towards building a business, advancing your career, your leadership, your side hustle, whatever it may be, Ambitious Vet, you've got to know what are the top 3 things that are going to help move that needle forward that day, that week, that month, that quarter. And it's really helped me based on the frameworks, the after action review I know a lot of us are familiar with from the military every single week, that kind of not only get present to my wins, but also create new neural pathways or new frameworks to inspire new ideas to become better every single week. And I know if you're listening to this, that's what you're about. Now I will preface this with the journal is around $50. You do get 10% off after your first purchase, but still, it really isn't that bad. I mean, when we first started using it a couple years ago, I didn't have the extra $50 allocated for doing it, but I can tell you over the past 2 years, if you would have said leveraging it every quarter, every day, every week, that it would have me land on the Forbes list, I would have said, get out of here. But it's all worth it. And clarity and being focused on what really moves the needle forward in your life is worth it. The question to ask yourself, is $50 worth the investment for you gaining clarity and focus? If it is, I want you to go visit www.fullfocusplanner.com/ambitiousvet. The link will also be in the show notes below.
It's time to get into the trenches, dig into your purpose, and fire up your life's fulfillment. The Ambitious Vet Podcast starts now.
What's going on, Ambitious Vet? We are right back inside the trenches today with Amy Amaraso. She's a military spouse with over 23 years of experience in business consulting. She serves as program director for the Partnerships Veteran Business Outreach Center, covering the territories of New York, New Jersey, Puerto Rico, and U.S. Virgin Islands. She is the initial point of contact for the VBOC program clients and is responsible for facilitating and delivering Boots to Business B2B reboot training programs. And Amy is also, on top of that, a subject matter expert in business plan development, financial analysis, starting and growing or selling a business, business lending, marketing, service disabled veteran-owned small business certifications, Boots to Business instruction, and networking. She sits on multiple boards and volunteers for a few veteran service organizations. She's a super patriot and a military spouse that doesn't hold back from helping ambitious vets get what they need to grow and advance in business. I'm excited to have you. Amy, are you there?
I am here, Chris. Wow, thank you. That bio, you even read it. I was like, who is this woman?
It's crazy when that happens, right? Because you do all those things, you don't do it for the recognition, but when you hear it, it's like, wow,
exactly.
That's cool. So I think we met at the HOSFRA Veteran Venture Challenge. You were one of our judges, and I just remember, like, whenever you got that segment to just kind of give me some advice and feedback, I was just like, Amy is a complete powerhouse. We need to get her on the show and just help a lot more ambitious vets that aspire to do more. So it's an absolute honor to have you on the show.
Well, thank you, Chris. And again, vice versa. I heard you in the Hofstra Veterans Challenge, and, I really honed in on this idea. I think getting our information out to the veterans is imperative. Most of them don't know where to turn. Most of them don't know who to talk to. So this is a great step forward. I really applaud your efforts in putting this together.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So just go ahead and tell the ambitious vet, like, more about your background, how you kind of found yourself, falling into the veteran entrepreneurship space, and kind of just fill the gaps in that intro.
Sure. I mean, even coming off that intro, let's just kind of spice it down just a little, right? Because there's a lot of words that we're going in there. And, really and truly, in my heart of hearts, my passion is to help our veterans, military spouses, and our service members that are looking to either start a business, expand their business, buy, sell, franchise, anything international, importing, exporting. So really, it's any industry, any idea that you're looking to try to create or explore or expand. That's what our offices help with. Now, I'm only one of 22 in the country, so we're actually sanctioned and co-funded by the Small Business Administration, the US SBA. And so across the country, there are 22 Vbocs servicing 50 states and all four territories. But really where, my passion comes from is clicking onto that idea and giving you that reason to grow and expand. You have this thought process. Let me just help you kind of explore it out there. I've been in business consulting now for a little over 23 years. I won't put an end date to that.
Wow.
And I've been director of this program now for 10, and I've been around since almost the inception of this program. And I have to tell you, so my husband's a veteran. I am a military spouse, and my husband's a Marine. So Semper Fi, hoorah. Yeah. And I've been married to the Marine Corps now for about 24 years as well. So through family readiness, deployments, so I've have this connection with these veterans and their spouses. I've been where they've been. I've seen, the walk. I've been there, and I know when they come home and, now what do we do? So before going into that, just my passion comes out because, listen, veterans, and I know you're going to hear this story, but you've given your all. Now it's time for us to do something for you. You come home, you've done your job, you've done your duty, whether you're getting out because you want to, medically retired, you're just retired, it doesn't matter. There's something here for you, and that's our job. Let's extrapolate that. Let's pull it out of your brain and then show you that we can create this with you. I don't do it for you. That's not my job. I'm not here to run your business. I have multiple businesses of my own. I'm here to teach you how to do that. And I think that's where the passion lies.
Yeah, no, it's very clear. But tell us the story of how you actually fell into the veteran entrepreneurship space, right? Because you've been here since the origin of the program, which is absolutely amazing. And Ambitious Vet, if you don't know of, because when I got out back in 2012 from the United States Marine Corps, I didn't know about Boots to Business. I just did the TAPS, and I attended maybe 1 or 2 days of that, and then said I would go into the bathroom, and then I ended up in the gym. You know what I mean? So I wasn't even aware of the Boots to Business. I definitely would have signed up for that one. So tell us more about just how you found yourself in the veteran entrepreneurship space. And, we'll go from there.
Yeah. And that's a good place to start, because again, my husband's a veteran, and when he came back, what do we do? He was in infantry, he came back as a sergeant, and he worked at RPI. He worked at an institution, an education institution. And he's like, this is not for me. I can't come back and just sit here. What do I do? What can I do? What is there for me? So it started my engine going, like, what can I do to help, and where can we go? So that was my first piece into, where can we explore this? Now, I've been a business consultant by trade for years. And when this opportunity opened, it was just, it was kismet. It was just karma happening. I wanted to help my husband and his friends. And now I had the opportunity to grow that scale, and pull out full region 2, which is New York, New Jersey, Puerto Rico, and the USVI. So that's kind of where that started. Now, expanding the program, Boots to Business, as you stated, Chris, and we've talked about this before. Veterans go through their TAP, and it's a week-long debrief, and let's face it, it's boring. I hate to say it, but it is. It's just so much information. And whether it's boring or not, there's just so much crammed into that week. And your thought process is, I want to be home. I don't want to be here. I just want to leave, at whatever point in time. So absorbing that information becomes very difficult. I know the DoD has, pulled a kind of a longer kind of exit for you all. But really getting into, hey, here's just the piece of information that we're going to give you. Come back and see us. You don't have to go through it now. You can come through it now as a service member for Boots to Business. You can get out of the service and come back to us and take a reboot program. It's the same exact curriculum. We're just dealing, with different populations. Instead of a service member who's exiting, it's a veteran or a service member that's still in the Guard and Reserve, or a military spouse. So we have all these programs, available, and that's where I started. I just love the passion of helping my husband and his friends, and it turned into this dream job career that, I don't see an exit yet for myself.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, I love that story of just helping out your husband and his friends, because, I think it's as easy as that as falling into your passion too in your life. It's just, who do you want to help in your local communities or your local social groups? So I want to kind of pivot into another subject that we were talking about, because we've had multiple conversations, amazing conversations. Ambitious, I wish we've recorded all of me and Amy's conversations. They've been incredible. But, we were talking about this comparison between scarcity and abundance mindset that a lot of veterans go through when they first get out, right? I know for myself, I found myself in survival mode. You know what I mean? I was just like, I just want to get out, figure out how to survive, get my feet underneath me, and then I'll go back and try to slow down and start figuring life out from there. I just want to survive, right? So inside the context of what you do for, Vboc, Boots to Business, and everything that you're doing over there in the East Coast and beyond, how do we balance the scarcity and abundance mindset? And what are some golden grenades that you would have for an ambitious vet looking to kind of pivot from survival mindset to potentially just being like, hey, the world works for me. I don't need to survive it. Right.
Right. And that's a great way to say it. Just surviving it, but you're just kind of going with it. And that's my whole motto. The passion is there, but I try to take people outside of a box. When you're leaving the military, when you're graduating school, you learn your MOS, you're like, all right, I'm going to pigeonhole myself into this. But really, that's not the way to live. Kind of erase those edges and take that box and take a side down and step out and breathe. Learning about what we have to do and how we have to do it doesn't have to be difficult. You're in this mindset of, I have to do it now. Just like my husband, I have to do it. There's no other way around it. It's got to get done. Well, no, it doesn't have to get done right today. Yes, it has to get done, but let's breathe and let's focus on the end goal. Yet we're here, but if we pigeonhole ourselves in a box, that's when we start to become like, it's like this, it starts to close in on you. And that's what I don't want. I don't want that to happen to my veterans. So, my first point of just conversation is, what is it that you love? Just tell me what you love to do and let's pull that out. I don't care if it makes money. I don't care if it's something that your wife loves or your husband loves. I don't care about that. I want to know what you want to do. And then let's try to build that roadmap. And guess what? As we go through it, this organic change starts to happen. This shift just happens naturally. We're going to start growing. Let's say Chris wants to start instead of starting his ambitious vets, he wants to start a car wash or a mechanic shop. And then all of a sudden we start talking about this and he's like, you know what? I want to do this mechanic shop, but I also want to do car detailing, and I want to do body work, and and it starts taking this
Mm.
chain. If you get yourself out of that box and start opening up to possibilities of what you can do, you start to really breathe and live your future. It's as easy as that. I say it's easy. It might be difficult, but as we talk and as we keep a connection, that's where I try to gravitate towards. My clients that call me and stay with me and they stick with me, even if I teach at Fort Drum or West Point or even Joint Base down in McGuire Dix Lakehurst in New Jersey, my one piece of, I guess, my golden nugget to give to them is just write my name down in my email. That's all. You can hear me talk all day long. You can listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, but just write my name down and put entrepreneur next to it. And that's all I want you to do. When you're ready, you have this information. Now you know how to get a hold of me. That's it. I'm going to take it from there.
No, that's great. I love that because I just think a lot of ambitious vets that get out, they have these big aspirations, big visions, but they don't know how to put it on paper, right? And they need someone to kind of ask them the right questions and be like, hey, if you had every resource, every tool that you need, you could possibly have, what would you do in life right now? And then just have someone kind of create that guiding light. And it sounds like that's what you do as far as veterans getting out of the uniform that want to kind of make a bigger impact, which is key. Is there anything else that you would add to that, Amy?
Yeah, and speaking of like the vehicles and the tools that you use, let's keep on that line where I keep telling my veterans too. I'm in the passenger seat, you're in the driver's seat. I become your navigator, your MapQuest, your Google Maps, whatever you want. If you're looking for a business plan, it's exactly what my office has to offer you. And what we forgot to mention is that services that you can get through all the Vbocs across the nation are at absolutely no cost. So what I'm going to go through right now is kind of the structure of what we can do to help you at no cost. Remember that. So business planning, you hit the nail on the head. Does everybody have to write a business plan? Absolutely not. Again, we're putting someone in a box that doesn't need to be there. But if this is something that you need and something that we can help with, we actually use something called Live Plan. It's an online business plan builder, easy, accessible to both you and myself. And we walk through the process of business plan together. So it's never just you on your own. Here's your map and go. I'm with you the entire time. So that help and that process really, brings you along. I ask questions, I can edit, I can, whatever it is, it's like real-time data. I change it, you see it, vice versa. So that's the first step. Now you need a cash flow. Perhaps you're looking for some financing. Perhaps you need, I don't even know what. Let's start building out a cash flow projection. I give you a template to use. I teach you how to use it. And it's as simple as that. And then again, we go through the process of where's our revenues, what's our cost structure, what does our operating expenses look like? Do we actually need a loan at this point? Perhaps we over kind of estimated, perhaps we underestimated. Let's find that sweet spot. And again, we're doing this together. How do you start a business? There's a lot of companies out there right now, not just with SBA, but just out in like a for-profit venture, a private company like LegalZoom and Zen and all these other companies that will actually charge you to help you start a business. If you go to the SBA resource partner like myself, a VBOC, we're out here and we do it for you at no cost. Do we do it for you? No. Do we give you the tools and the vehicle to use? Yes. So the clients that come to me, the veterans, I give them a checklist of 1 through 9 on how to start a business in whatever state or territory you're in.
That's great.
And then I help you walk you through the steps. So there's no lack of misinformation, and we help you through the entire process.
Yeah, you're bringing the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink, right?
That's right.
You got to show them where the water is, right? Yeah. Man,
that's your job.
I'm just thinking about when I first started the Ambitious Vet Network in 2017, how much checklist frameworks would have made a bigger difference, right? Because I built the brand before I built a business model, and I didn't even know that. And I built a big user base, but I didn't know my revenue drivers or what the cash flow projections would be or whatever. And I just think that there's a lot of ambitious vets out there, maybe you that's listening to this right now, that is just like, man, I'm intimidated by a business plan. I mean,
it's very intimidating,
right?
Yep,
it totally is. It totally is, because sometimes you have different strengths in different areas, and sometimes you don't want to build out a go-to-market strategy or whatever. And it sounds like you guys provide the frameworks, the checklists, the tools to kind of, hey, if they do the needed work, leverage the tools, they can ask you questions and kind of leverage you guys as a resource, which is incredible. That's
exactly
stuff.
Right. And, business planning, again, doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be a 50-page thesis, and the value of a business plan, the secret is 10, 15 pages. And even the viewers are probably like, oh my God, that's still a lot, Amy. If we do 1 page per item in the business plan, you've got it. It's made in the shade. You're done. And my job is to help fulfill that proposal prior to going to either a lender or wherever. And again, not everybody has to write a plan. And your plan can only have to be, it might only be 1 or 2 pages because you're not going for financing. It's just for organizational and you just want it for yourself.
Yeah.
Done. That's, how many times have you heard, these Fortune 500, Fortune 500 companies writing a business plan on a napkin in a bar? It happens. That's real life, far and few between. I'm not telling you to do that, but you see the value. It doesn't have to be something, atrocious. You're taught that. And again, I'm breaking that mold and I'm tearing that box down and teaching you that it's okay to write a plan and it's your thought. You are the driver, I'm the passenger, but I still walk you through the entire process.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I think the question there to ask you after that statement is, what are some of the common themes of problems that you have with veterans coming in? Because you've probably mentored or coached hundreds of veterans by now, right? So what is like the trend? Are, as far as problems, is it a mindset thing? Is it mechanics? Is it a knowledge thing? Like what's some of the problems that you see that veterans are going inside of the Boosted Business program or inside of your guys's offerings? Like what's the problem?
Knowledge, I would say. Again, the DoD tries to give enough information as you try to exit and you're just not absorbing it. And it's a break. There's something happening right there. And even my own husband, I mean, he can go for, and we'll get into that later, for a service disabled veteran. That's another long road we can go down. But it's the knowledge, it's the fear. I always say kick fear in the pants. Fear is a tool that we should look forward to because it teaches us something. It's not something to be afraid of. You fail, you fear it, you try it, we do something else. There's the pivot. Okay. I just try to do it as organically as I can. It's the knowledge of, I don't think I can start a business. And what's this woman going to help me with? Another quasi-government agency, an independent contractor that works for the government I'm trying to leave. How is she going to help me? What? No, she's not going to do this. So there's that break there too. There's not a lot of us, in my office, I have 3, including myself and 1 contractor that works for me in Puerto Rico. So I have a staff of 4 for 2 territories and 2 states. There's 22 of us in the country that provide this assistance to 50 states and 4 territories. So there's not a lot of us. So for us to do marketing and get our information out there to really secure some really good knowledge and information is tricky. But when we go on these bases and we can get those individuals in class, that's when the light bulb goes off. And when they email me afterwards, because I always say, write my name down, just do it. I promise you, in the future, you're going to have this one person to contact. They appreciate that. And the checklist. Veterans like checklists, service members like checklists. You want it. I'm done. What's next? I'm done. What's next? Yeah. That's right. You're following scripts. So it's so easy to say, okay, we take this out of here. You have the leadership, the mindset. You've been in the government. They've trained you. Why can't we spin this and put it into a package where it's very self-explainable and you feel comfortable in doing it?
Yeah. So you guys are bridging the knowledge gap, which is so important, right? Because to your point, the TAPS program, it does a great job, healthcare benefits, and just different variety of career readiness, right? But it's like they lack like perspective or tools to kind of go from A to B to C, and it's like a fire hose. So I love that you guys are meeting ambitious vets where they are, right? So walk me through, like, when you tell someone to write down your name and then entrepreneurship right next to it, like for an ambitious vet that's listening to this right now, that's just like, okay, I can do that, right? But what would be the way to reach out, and what would be like the next 3 steps that you would give an ambitious vet to kind of take advantage of Vboc resources or take advantage of some of these 22 Vbocs nationwide? What would be those next 3 actions so they can maximize the resources and tools, right? Because I think that kind of gets discombobulated sometimes.
It does. And, like I said, I'm just one person amongst multiple, talented, very, very sincere and passionate advisors across the country, but going above and beyond what we do. Because again, this is what veterans have provided to our country, is going above and beyond at every aspect. My center also does that. And just a key point on, I don't care if you come to me for entrepreneurship. Yes, I want you to write it down because that's what I do. That's my job. That's my career. This is my passion. But if you come to me and say, Amy, you know what? Here I'm talking about service disabled veteran owned small business. And if you become certified, what opportunities can you grab in the state and government as far as procurement opportunities? So you can then work and sell your services and wares and whatever back to the government or the state that you live in. And a lot of times I talk to these veterans and their first point of contact to me is, you know what, I'm not service disabled. Yeah, I hurt myself and I have something now, but I'm not taking that direction. And it's funny because once I explain to them the situation of, well, you know how government works, right? If you don't use the money that they give you, they take it away. So the less you go and take advantage of these programs, the more you're actually hurting your other service members and brothers and sisters coming out, because then the services start to deplete and go away because there's not a lot of help out there. So the entrepreneurship, yes. But my job is also get you to a place of getting these goals of entrepreneurship. And it starts just here. If you don't have a service connected disability rating, or if you know you're disabled, talk to your VSO. Some of them aren't that great. Some of them are wonderful. Reach out to someone else. Call me, because you know what? In my territory, I know them all and I talk to them regularly. Is that part of my job? Not necessarily. But to get my veterans up to this point, I need to know who you are and how you're going to help them, because they're going to reach out to me because I told them to, whether it's entrepreneurship or education. And even at Hofstra University, where I met Chris, that's an education piece, right? Entrepreneurship, yes, but we keep these connections because it's not just one breach of information, it's all of them. And a good advisor will give you that information moving forward. So as you move through your journey and you just have a question, just reach out to someone. Again, write a name down. I don't care if it's mine. You can be in California and you can write Amy Amoroso, right? VBOC, Region 2. I'm in New York right now. I'm upstate New York. Actually, it's not raining today, so
nice.
It's like my ark is almost built, because I'm telling you, we're gonna flood away. But just reach out to myself. I will get you in contact with all the counselors across the country. And I know even with SBA, Small Business Development Centers, there's SCORE centers for mentors, there's Women Business Centers, there's VBOCs. If you go to sba.gov, that's Sierra Bravo Alpha.gov, you go there and you do a / VBOC, Victor Bravo Oscar Charlie. It'll bring you all to all of us. You just reach out, and that's how you get a hold of us.
Boom. It's that easy.
Easy.
And it's, man, even a Marine could do it. I'm excited. I'm like, man, I'm about to pull out my orange crayon and get this done.
That's right.
So, no, that's great. And ambitious vet, I know one thing that we wanted to bring up, Amy, is how to become more of a proactive, ambitious vet. I think the way to do that is kind of have some perceived problems that you're looking to solve, even if it's like me being, back in 2017, ambitious vet, just towing on myself that I didn't know anything about starting a business. I had a psychology degree from, from National University, and how do you even start a business? Entities type stuff, like basic stuff that a lot of people have that get intimidated by the process, right? Reach out, have perceived problems that you're dealing with, questions to ask Amy and her team, so you can be proactive and really slow down, so you can actually look through that scope like you did in your respected branches on the rifle range, or if you were a grunt, really getting some. So you can look down that scope and ask yourself, what is it? What do I need to be successful, right? What do I need to be successful is really important. Amy, is there anything that you would nail down home as far as how to be proactive and maximizing your guys' resources?
Yeah, I mean, again, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but sometimes repetition is key. And that's what marketing all revolves around. And I love, number one, I love how you cited the problem plus your solution equals opportunity. I teach that continually. Don't look at solving, don't look at the opportunity. Don't look at that business. Look at the problem that you can solve. Even with my own businesses, and there's a passion, there's a drive. And that's what the first thing I pull out of you. What's the problem that you view? What's the solution that we can create? And that creation becomes your business. It's as simple as that. And then I give you the tools. It's a checklist. And if you need to talk to an attorney about an entity, we have it. And guess what? They're not going to charge you, because I'm not going to let them charge you. That's the point. If you want to talk to our clients and listen, we have some pro bono services. They've done their job. It's now your time to do your job. And it's not just a give out. And that's not what this program is about. It's about, this is how we're helping you. And to help you by breaking down those walls and taking apart that box is giving you that, that finite information. That mindset is key. Again, just that passion. Do you think you can do it? Great. Are you fearful? Sure. I'm fearful every day, but you know what? I still go and I still go head on. And I'm going to find those reasons and examples of how to do it. And if I can't give it to you, I'm going to look next door. I'm going to reach out to my counterparts. I'm going to find that answer for you. And I'm not going to leave you hanging there. Kick that fear in the pants. Don't let the fear of stopping stop you, right? How many times have you thought of a business that was like, oh my God, I thought of that 20 years ago. And now it's, multi-million dollars. And you're like, that action that you didn't take can be just that small little step. And you were fearful you didn't take that step. Somebody else is going to do it. Trust me, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to help you build that step. So, yeah.
That's great. And I think it's like giving up that macho man or macho woman type persona that we all fall victim to. We don't ask for help, which leaves us in the same circumstances that we're suffering inside of, which I just think, Ambitious Vet, that if you're hearing this and what I just said hits you in the heart, make sure that you are writing down Amy's name and entrepreneurship next to it. And I'll have all of her links as far as how to connect. How to get connected with the 22 Vbocs nationwide so you can start leveraging these resources to become more in your life, because you know what? You deserve it, right? You deserve to make that impact that you are serving inside of your respected branches. So, Amy, this has been incredible. I know we're about to hit time here, but I want to move to the final segment of the show, which is, the one last golden grenade, right? And it's pretty much... there's an ambitious vet inside the trenches of life that's got, been out, or, what we're finding is it may be an ambitious vet that's looking to get out in the next coming months that has big aspirations, but doesn't know the first thing on how to hit them once they get out. And what would be one last golden grenade that you would provide that ambitious vet? And then we'll give you a call to action and then we'll say goodbye.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I hate to be like that fearful, ism again, but, you're getting out, you're a veteran. I don't even care if it's a Korea War veteran, a Vietnam veteran, a military spouse, you're in the service and you're still looking, because I have service members right now that are overseas, they're in theater right now, and I'm still helping them with their business. So it doesn't matter what walk of life you are. Don't let that perception of help stop you, right? This is our job. And again, you might come to me as a counselor of something else as far as entrepreneurship, maybe that's just eradicated, and I'm still going to get you into the direction that you need to go. And that's the passion, that's the drive that most Vbocs have for you, because most of us are service members or military spouses or have family members that were in the military. So we understand the thought process and where you're coming from. So we're trying to break that wall down a little bit further. Every day we get into that touch. And again, just pulling back from my own husband's experience, trying to reach out and just say hi. That's it. A lot of us stay in our closed little group, or we stay in our house, or we don't want to face the facts of life. But you know what? We have to. And you don't know what you're missing until you actually kind of step out that. And guess what? You're going to stumble, and I'm going to be there to catch you. Maybe not, all the time, but that safety net is going to be there with my information to pull you back into me and say, listen, this is not the direction we have to go. Let's go this way. So the fear of not knowing, the fear of, I don't think I can do it, or even just want to come into a veteran group. I have multiple veteran groups that I can hook you into. So mentorship on the veteran to veteran side is right there for you. So you're talking to your brothers and sisters about what you've done. You're not looking at the civilians saying, you know what, you don't know what I went through. This is kind of useless information. I want to talk to someone that actually knows where I've been. And then what's on that other side. So we make that connection for you as well. So I guess not knowing is detrimental. Reaching out to one person, regardless of the situation, and saying, you know what, I need help. I don't know what to do. We'll take it from there.
Yeah. Just take action and ask for help.
Take
Boom.
action.
That's it. That's really what it comes down to. So Amy, where can ambitious vet that's listening to this find out more about you, how to get plugged into just the resourceful person you are? I mean, it seems like you're a catalyst, like you just are five people away from knowing everybody. So where can an ambitious vet go to learn more about you and what you're doing within the VBOCs?
Yeah, I mean, they can go to my website, and I think you're going to put that information up. I can state it out here. It's just VBOC region, the number 2.com. And again, it's Victor, Bravo, Oscar, Charlie, region, the number 2.com. A lot of our information's up there. We have a lot of events that we have upcoming that they can hook into, regardless of where you are in the country. It does not matter. We do talk about contracting and how to become service disabled veteran-owned small business. What's the repercussions for you on that side, and how can we make that connection? Financing. So where do you get money to start a business? That's the hardest piece. I will tell you that right now. And this week we have just droves of information, not only from the SBA, but bankers, lenders coming in to talk to you about how you can get funding through them. And again, anywhere in the country. We talk about lawyers. I have a law day that I give out 4 times a year. You need help with an attorney, you come to one of our sessions, you get to talk to an attorney for free for 25 minutes. And then that conversation continues and there's no charge. And I don't care if it's matrimonial. I don't care if it's business. I don't care if it's personal. It can be real estate. It doesn't matter. We're here to service you as you move forward. So my website houses a lot of that information, does give some bio. And of course, my email is on there as well. LinkedIn, I'm there. I haven't plugged in there in a month or so. Just a little busy right now.
It's hard. Yeah. I was looking at the website. You guys are having events like almost every single day for just providing multiple times a day. So ambitious vet, if you're looking to become an entrepreneur and really own and create the freedom that you really desire most post-military, it starts at the VBOCs. Start there, write down Amy's name and put entrepreneurship, and have 3 questions that you want to send her in an email or get connected with her team at the VBOCs, and make sure that you are taking action and asking for help. And I promise you, your life in the next year, 3 years, 5 years may look totally different. Different. So Amy, I just want to say thank you for joining the Ambitious Vet Show. It's been an absolute amazing experience. Any last parting words for the Ambitious Vet?
I just want to thank everyone for their service. We're here because of you. We do these things because of you. So that's my thanks to you, is thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for what you're about to do too, as an inspiring entrepreneur, because again, that jumpstarts our economy. That's what we need right now. So, it's a pleasure to be here. Chris, this is an absolute pleasure. You have such a great program here. I love how you're reaching out to our veterans, because again, they're just listening. Now they know there's a step to take. Take that first step. If anything, it's just a conversation. Conversations are free.
They are. An ambitious vet, always remember to hold the vision and trust the process. Until next time, take care.
The Ambitious Vet is available on all popular podcast platforms. Go to vettrainingcoaching.com to subscribe, rate, and share with fellow vets.
If you're looking to achieve more while doing less, while leveraging the VBOCs to start and grow your business, make sure to equip yourself with the weapon of choice in my arsenal, the Full Focus Planner. It's manufactured in the United States. It's also created by Michael Hyatt and Company. Me being a man of faith and only subscribing to a few thought leaders in productivity, entrepreneurship, leadership development, and stuff like that, Michael Hyatt's definitely one of the few guys that I dive deeper in and am willing to subscribe to pretty much anything that he releases, him and the company that he surrounds himself with. Now, Ambitious Vet, this journal is built from the latest science of productivity and goal setting. The Full Focus Planner also helps you to prioritize and just achieve your goals. With a simple 3-step system, you can connect your big annual goals to your daily actions so you're always making progress. That feeling of progress is always good. Now, over 100,000 successful customers agree the Full Focus Planner ends daily overwhelm and multiplies success. If that sounds like something worthwhile for you at least to check out, try it out. Gain 10% off your first purchase. Go and check out www.fullfocusplanner.com/ambitiousvet, and the link will also be in the show notes below.